I just woke up thinking about going home with you and got very excited about Christmas. I get to go meet the people that made my favorite person. I'll always take December.
Hi, I'm Kathy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So today I figured we would get into the holiday mood and I would be reviewing Happiest Seasons, now streaming on Hulu. Before we go any further, some spoilers ahead. So Happiest Seasons was co-written and directed by Clea DuVall, who is best known for starring in the cult classic But I'm a Cheerleader.
I'm Graham, and I like girls a lot, and I'm a homosexual.
So it stars Mackenzie Davis and Kristen Stewart as lesbian couple Harper and Abby, who go spend the holidays with Harper's family, but there's a plot twist. Now, before we get into that plot twist, I will say that it is so nice to have some LGBT representation in a stereotypically heterosexual genre such as the Christmas romantic comedy. Now, back to the storyline. So Harper's family is very cookie cutter type. Her dad's a politician, so they care a lot about how they're perceived, which explains the plot twist. So as Harper and Abby are in the car on the way, actively on the way to Harper's family's house, Harper tells Abby that she is not out of the closet. She lied to Abby this whole time and she is not out to her family.
I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm finally going to meet everyone.
There's something that we should talk about. Hi! I didn't tell my parents I'm gay.
So Abby hates Christmas. She lost her parents around Christmas and she pretty much does not celebrate the holiday. Harper pushes her to celebrate Christmas. Harper, in this lovey moment of being together, caught up in the bliss of the moment, invites Abby to spend Christmas with her and her family. The next day, you could tell that she immediately regrets that because she's not out, and yet still doesn't say anything. She tries to find a way for Abby to kind of not go. She asks her about work, if she has someone to cover for her. She says she doesn't really like Christmas. She tries to do everything for Abby to back out rather than just coming clean in the moment. And it's even more painful to watch because Abby's genuinely excited now to meet her family and to spend Christmas with them. She's so caught up in the moment as well that she even decides to propose to Harper at the end of the trip and even ask Harper's father for permission and for her hand in marriage. So to have this moment in the car, already on the way there, finding out that Abby has to pretend that she is a roommate and also hide the fact that she herself is a lesbian is so much to ask a person. But of course, Abby loves Harper enough that she is willing to get through these days, and Harper says that at the end of the trip she will confess and she will come out to her family.
So her parents believe their straight daughter brought home her lesbian friend for Christmas?
Not exactly. They also think that I'm straight.
Have they ever met a lesbian?
Now at this moment I'm already feeling annoyed for Abby. However, once you finally meet Harper's family, it kind of starts to make sense why she's closeted. Right off the bat, you can tell that the father is very much a politician in every sense of the term, and her mother as well really cares about their image, constantly trying to get the perfect photo for social media, making sure that everything looks good, pretty much dismissing her daughters, as Harper is one of three. Abby's bombarded with a lot of orphan remarks, treating her like this poor little child, which is so uncomfortable every time they make one of these comments.
Is Harper's orphan friend Abby?
Yes, of course. They're there.
You're so brave. Oh, you don't need to be.
Then she's constantly placed in even more uncomfortable situations. They invite the ex-boyfriend to dinner. He's hanging around a lot. That adds to the discomfort. Then they run into Harper's secret ex-girlfriend, Riley, played by the fabulous Aubrey Plaza.
Riley! Harper. Sorry, Riley, this is Abby. Abby is my
Orphan. Roommate. I am an orphan, but we live together. As friends. Like acquaintances.
Oh, please stop.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. So I'm just gonna sneak
God,
on by
sorry.
you guys.
It's painful to watch Abby in these uncomfortable situations and doing what she feels she has to do for the woman that she loves. And at the same time, Harper almost kind of dismissing her and leaving her in these situations. But then on top of that, it's also painful to start to see Harper kind of conforming and molding into these heterosexual expectations. And although this doesn't justify how she treats Abby, it does in a way justify why she is still in the closet. You start to really examine her family and how she was raised, and it's understandable how her being herself wouldn't have been accepted. You see her mother and her father who clearly care about their image, and they put their kids at a certain standard and certain expectations that neither of the girls have ever actually been able to reach. We have Harper's older sister, played by Alison Brie, who was a lawyer. She decides to give all of that up to be a stay-at-home mom and raise her kids. Clearly, you could see that the parents are disappointed that she is no longer a successful lawyer, and all she really has are the children, and that is where their pride comes from for her. It's her children, and that's it. Which you could see the competition between her and Harper of trying to be the favorite. Harper's a journalist or a writer, I believe. They use that and how cookie cutter she appears to kind of leverage themselves in their community. Then you have her other sister Jane, who's played by the other co-writer Mary Holland, who is one of my favorite characters. She is hilarious and she's very sweet, and they just make her fix the Wi-Fi or clean things up, and they completely ignore and dismiss her. And it's so painful that they treat her that way, but I feel like she's so used to it that she doesn't care, and she's just herself. And it's refreshing, honestly, in a family that seems so uptight and so cookie cutter, that she's not that. And she doesn't try to be anything but herself, which is so endearing. The biggest thing you can see is this subtle homophobia, which honestly, I appreciate that they took this direction, because they could have gone the opposite way. They could have made her parents openly, in-your-face homophobic, which there are millions of people like that in the world. On the other hand, there are so many people who aren't overtly homophobic, yet don't realize those subtleties are daggers, and those things hurt, and those things have a lasting impression on the community. Now this comes up when they mention Riley, which is Harper's secret ex-girlfriend from high school. They run into her and the family asks if they've seen her. She's a successful doctor, and they rant and rave of how successful she is. And they make a quick jab at her quote-unquote lifestyle.
Her parents must be proud and relieved.
I know.
It is so quick and subtle, but that is such an underlining foundation of the type of people that they are, that very subtle homophobia and a deeper understanding of why Harper struggled. Like I said before, Riley is such a great character. We find out that she dated Harper in high school, and essentially Harper was ashamed, denied their relationship, and in the process outed Riley. Which to me is one of the absolute worst things you can do to somebody. Over the course of the movie, you can understand why Harper is closeted. However, it's hard to justify the way that she treats Abby. So you're still kind of pissed at her throughout the movie. So when you see Riley and Abby getting close and having a lot more chemistry, you kind of root for that relationship. And they have such a nice relationship, and they form a beautiful friendship. And personally, I did root for them. I did kind of want them to end up together at the end. But at the same time, I'm glad that they didn't. It's nice that they showcased healthy, platonic lesbian relationships. And at the time, Abby didn't need another love interest. Abby needed someone who understood and someone that she can lean on and rely on. And Riley was perfect. Another great relationship in Abby's life was Dan Levy's character, who played her best friend.
I'm here to rescue you.
Are you the ex-boyfriend?
Yes, I am very sexually attracted to her. A female. I nailed that, and she is fabulous.
He's clearly one of the comedic reliefs of the movie and seems to be the mouthpiece of the themes. When Abby is in dire need, he comes and tries to rescue her out of the situation. Throughout the film, I didn't feel like Harper had any actual redemption. There's an understanding of why she didn't come out. There's no actual redemption. I think the biggest point of redemption for her, in my eyes, was in one of the final scenes when Dan Levy's character and Abby were walking and discussing how Abby was feeling after Harper denied their relationship in front of everyone after she gets outed by her sister. This speech for me was a way of redeeming her character.
I don't think that she loves me as much as I thought she did.
Hey, Harper not coming out to her parents has nothing to do with you.
How could it not?
Remind me, what did your parents say when you told them you were gay?
That they loved and supported me.
That's amazing. My dad kicked me out of the house and didn't talk to me for 13 years after I told him. Everybody's story is different. There's your version, and my version, and everything in between. But the one thing that all of those stories have in common is that moment right before you say those words, when your heart is racing and you don't know what's coming next. That moment's really terrifying. And then once you say those words, you can't unsay them. A chapter has ended and a new one's begun, and you have to be ready for that. Can't do it for anyone else. Just because Harper isn't ready, it doesn't mean she never will be. And it doesn't mean she doesn't love you.
Not everyone has the same experience when they come out, and there's so many levels to that process. Abby's parents were automatically accepting of her, and his parents rejected him, and he hasn't spoken to his father. And seeing how Harper's family is, you can see that she might possibly lean more towards his situation. But there's so many different versions of when someone comes out and their stories and their experiences that you can't really knock someone for not wanting to come out or delaying that process or any fears that they may have in that moment. One of the pinnacle moments of the movie are when Abby returns to the house to get her stuff and Harper finally comes out to her family.
I wasn't lying. I'm gay. And I am in love with Abby.
Her love for Abby and fear of losing her was bigger than any fear that she had. On the other hand, it's also a powerful moment because even with all of that, the hurt was so much that even if she did love her, it was too late. Of course, in typical Christmas romantic family fashion, they make up and get back together maybe 5 minutes after that scene. I had some problems with that, to be honest. I felt like it was too much of a clean happy ending. Did I want a happy ending? Of course, it's a Christmas romantic comedy. It has to have a happy ending. Plus, being an LGBT story, it deserved a happy ending. We're tired of the killing one off trope and not having a happy ending. So it deserved a happy ending, and I'm glad that they ended up together. However, I felt like we needed to see them work through it. I felt like Abby forgave her way too quickly. I know that in the end credits, we get to see that they didn't automatically get engaged, and clearly in that time, they probably had some talks and worked through all of it. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't just, oh, okay, we're back together and we're going to get married and live our lives together. I'm sure that they worked through that, but I felt like we needed to see some of that. It was too clean. It felt like Abby got the short end of the stick a little bit throughout the whole movie. She's placed in these horrible situations and she sticks it out for her girlfriend and for love. And she's denied and denied and denied and denied. And at the end, a simple apology, a simple of, hey, I did it and I love you and we're going to work this out. It's like, okay. It felt too clean. There needed to be some justice for Abby. However, besides that clean-cut ending, it was definitely a fun, heartfelt, genuine movie. Definitely the type of Christmas romantic comedies that I love. Definitely the type of LGBT representation that is needed. And I hope we get more movies like this. I do hope that As these kind of movies come out and we get more representation, we also add more diversity. All in all, I enjoyed it. If you're looking for a heartfelt, genuine Christmas movie, stream Happiest Seasons on Hulu. If you enjoyed this video, please like, don't forget to subscribe, comment below whatever you want me to react or review, and I'll see you in the next one.